Hello and welcome to the first episode of Deion's Dungeon. In this new high-octane interview series, we'll be focusing on everything from sports to stoicism to acting, and occasionally we'll have dancing and music. I'm Deion John, an actor and athlete, and today I'm here with my first guest ever, of course, Daxflame. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. So we've been talking and workshopping this idea for almost a year now, and up until about last week, I had a different guest. Is that right?
Yep. Someone else was planned to be interviewed, but then, he couldn't make it.
Yeah, can you share a little bit about who you're filling in for?
Oh, yeah, of course. So, for those who haven't really been caught up with my channel so much, over the past week, I kind of announced last week that I would start to do a new sort of pursuit on my channel, a new sort of venture of some sort, which is basically talent management as a way of generating more income. And the actor I was scheduled to begin working with, he's very talented, but he had to drop out. Unfortunately, I was going to have him as the first guest on this show, but I wanted to have him on here, generate some more social media interest for him, have him introduce his personality, but he had to drop out. So here I am filling in.
Oh, okay. So and what happened? Why the change of plans?
Well, right after I announced that he was going to join the channel and be my first client, basically we filmed a short film that night, and the next day, after only 24 hours of working together, he called me and said, I don't think we should work together anymore. No, nothing personal, but I think that he basically just realized he was not interested anymore.
Oh, okay, that must have been a really tough phone call to receive. I know based on the announcement, from what I saw, you seemed really excited. So how did it feel to hear that news from him?
To be honest, I was surprised and disappointed. I totally understood his position and don't have any hard feelings against him at all. But there was just quite a few additional factors that had me stressing about it. I just in addition to just no longer having a client.
Oh, okay, that sounds really difficult. What were some of those factors that led to that?
For sure. So, first of all, I was stressed. Now I don't have a client I'm working with anymore. I'm stressed about the fact that I can't really release this short film. And also, I booked this set and scheduled with you and had this interview set scheduled for him. So I was there's so many things. But most of all, I was just worried about how embarrassing it would feel. Because I made this announcement with so much confidence and just I was just so ready to get going on it. And I felt so confident about it in the moment. But then all of a sudden I was oh no, so now I'm not working with this client. This is gonna look terrible for me if I tell my fans oh, never mind about this big announcement. That's gonna look really bad. And also I wanted this whole situation to be sort of a moment where I proved to my fans hey, you guys, I know I've announced some things before, but this is going to be different. This is going to be really well. And then 24 hours later, it's oh, I'm fired. Yeah. So I was oh no, this is going to be so embarrassing.
That sounds incredibly tough. So going forward, and what have you done to help with that?
So basically, I just began worrying so much that I almost considered lying to my fans. I was that night, I literally made a video. When he told me that, I was made a video where I basically just said oh, he has this medical thing where he just can't do any acting moving forward. That way it would be it would clear that way it would feel oh, it's not that he doesn't want to work with me, it's that he just can't. Yeah. So I was should I post that? And then I was no, I'm gonna sleep on it.
Oh, okay, so you didn't end up posting the video?
No.
Okay.
So I made the video and I contemplated posting it, but I didn't want to lie to my fans. So I just decided I didn't. Basically take a deep breath, and then I was okay, I'm just gonna come on this show and explain everything. I'm not going to just let that get the best of me. I'm gonna come on this show and explain everything. And actually I felt that was basically a good way of enacting stoicism in a way, because this is an idea I've been wanting to produce for over a year now, almost a year now. And so I was actually maybe that's the best of both worlds.
Oh, okay, absolutely. And what was that?
So basically basically just just realize, don't stress things too much. Take a deep breath, analysis of the situation, see what you should do moving forward, and then go for it.
Oh, okay, that's an amazing attitude to have. I'm impressed that you were able to bounce back. I feel a lot of people might let their stress, and including myself, we let our stress get the best of us sometimes. So it's very cool for you to decide not to cancel the show, especially for me being the host of the show, and find ways to make it work. I really appreciate that, and that's awesome. This show itself is almost an act of stoicism.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, and speaking of stoicism, it reminds me of a quote from the father of all stoicism, Marcus Aurelius. you have power over your mind. No outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength.
Yeah, that's such an awesome quote. I love that.
The way you handled the whole situation is very admirable, because I feel like if I was in your scenario, I had to launch a big announcement in a few days, and for my fans, and then it was canceled a few days later. I really don't know what I would have done in that scenario. So for you to react the way you did, and to move around everything you had to move around with my schedule and your schedule, that's awesome, and I really think it's something to admire. I don't really know. I kind of think, and I don't really know what I would do in that scenario, and so would I say something negative about the person? Would I put a video about me lying? I don't know what I would have done in that scenario.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad you bring that up, because it's I have nothing bad to say about Jake at all. I literally wish him the best, and totally understand where he's at. It's basically while I did have the impression that he was 100% on board, I think the fact that he realized this wasn't for him, and kind of realized you know what, I enjoyed my experience working with Dax, but this isn't for me. Mm-hmm. It's that's really mature of him to notice that and to stop that early on. So I think I applaud him in that way. And I actually asked him if he could send in a tape saying hey, yeah, me and Dex are on good terms, that sort of thing, because I don't want fans in the audience to let their minds run wild. Why did he get fired after 24 hours? We're seriously on cordial terms. It was 100% cool. He just doesn't want to be online too much. So he didn't want to send in a tape, but one of the other actors who was in the short film, the other actor, he said he's comfortable with it. This awesome actor named Philly, he was there that night, and he sent us a little tape. So we'll show a short, if it's cool, show a short clip of Philly and from the short film, and then a clip from Philly.
Hey there, are you Colby? You look just like the photo my physical therapy company sent me. They told me you couldn't talk because of the physical trauma. Looks like I got the right address. Hey, this is Philly Cash. I just wanted to say I had an absolute blast making that short film with Jake and Dax last week. I found Jake and Dax to be super nice, fun, and professional, which is exactly the kind of personality I like to be around. Don't know much about Jake's situation. What I do know is we met that night. He seems like a really decent guy. Really, what more can you ask for when I'm working on a film?
Well, that's awesome. I think your fans are going to really appreciate that you cleared that up, and you were able to take such a unique situation and spin it into something successful like this show. I think a lot of times when life sometimes tries something new, it starts off bumpy, but we have to proceed even though the obstacles that pop up. Most people give up in those scenarios, so it's inspiring that you're someone who keeps going and risks these mishaps and things like this to happen. So what's your next step moving forward? Are you still going to do management stuff? Are you switching gears completely? What's going to be your main focus?
Yeah, I have a lot of big plans I'm working on, but yeah, basically one of them is definitely talent management. I was super excited about it when I announced it, and that is no different now. But yeah, I think that it's something that really aligns well with my skill set, and I still, am in a place where I need supplemental income. So yeah, I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to hopefully put out these short films that I want to make as well. I'm currently speaking to 2 potential clients, so hopefully I can just get the ball rolling with that again. And I want to say thank you to anyone who was really supportive through this and who was not shouting me down or anything. And to anyone who was a bit of a hater in this situation, I want to prove them wrong. Yeah. I want to show them what I initially set out to do. I will find someone who is 100% committed, and I think this could be something I'm really successful with, in addition to doing things that are other things. So as you're an actor, and have you worked with agents before?
Yeah, absolutely.
What is your tip, would you say, that about being a positive manager in a situation like that?
I think communication is key for our managers and their clients. You need to have a constant free-flowing line of communication and be an open resource for your clients to have, and be able to answer easy questions, something that they might have struggles with in the beginning, and just being there for them really, and create a really good connection with that person and make it really personable, more like a friendship rather than a client relationship.
Nice. I love that. Awesome. Thank you.
Of course. So now, before I go, I just want to say that future episodes of the show will also focus on topics such as sports, and we'll have multiple guests in future episodes. But today's main focus was solely on acting and stoicism due to the circumstances explained in the episode. And to tell you a little bit about my interest, I like football, competing, acting, and so much more. So thanks for watching, and I'll leave you guys with this quote. When you arise in the morning, you'll think of the precious privilege that it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love.